women are always going to feel to a degree adjectives or talk about that all day. But I have been lucky in the sense that I've often been quite interested.
And this one, please, straight in the middle. Over here, please. Sorry, so you see that right? Just one more, please. Thank you.
You're dealing with someone's private life and you don't want to offend or insult.
Yeah.
And it does, it's always playing in the back of your mind, hoping you're not sort of upsetting someone. Because we've got no way of finding out personally how they feel about it.
If they choose to see the film, they're not seeing her, they're seeing my face, so I think that helps to distance it. But it's entirely up to them whether they want to see it. I think it's far more upsetting for them to read the papers that say she might not have died, she needn't have died, or see pictures of her all the time. So I'm not worried that I'm going to upset them too badly. To me, she's just a very, as I said, a human person. And I play her as a human being who has faults, and she has good points and bad points, and, you know, so I'm not worried too much that I'm trying to portray this kind of saint-like goddess.
I just thought it's interesting to take that kind of, make that kind of transformation, and a fascinating life. I mean, like all the women I'm drawn to, there were a lot of complexities, intelligent and strong and incredibly compassionate. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons, apart from the actions she made and the choices she made in her life, she had a huge amount of compassion and empathy, and we remember her well for that.
Of course, it's scary because everyone feels they know her and therefore they have an opinion about who she was, and their version of the story must be true, and the comparisons that will be made inevitably. So all that was very daunting. Well, the voice was very hard to do, and I really had to stay committed to that. I don't think I'm as disciplined as Daniel Day-Lewis, where he's going, allegedly, I haven't spoken to him about this personally, but I read and hear that he wakes and sleeps as that character as well. But you know, I did try my best to stick to the character because it is such a strong character, and the voice and the movement being a big part of it.
But actually, Diana has a very unique voice. I don't think she is just Sloane, because I mean there were a million Sloane Rangers at that time, and none of them sounded like her. But she has this thing that she does where she basically goes down at the end of everything she says, which I think added to the fact, that kind of quality she had of making her quite a, I guess, empathetic figure. Because even if she was saying, I had a wonderful time today, I really did enjoy myself. It's a wonderful day, really happy. Everything goes down, so she ends up sounding quite sad with everything she says, but it's this wonderful quality to her voice. I really miss it. I really miss doing it. Yeah.
Inside, please, Emma. Hold it there. And then on the very end for me, please. And stay there for me. So just into this one here for us. And just on the.
I thought about her using her fringe as like a kind of like a guard, like she would be looking up from under it and that kind of thing. It was kind of like a shield, but also like a thing under which she kind of enticed people closer. It's fun, yeah.
Cheers.
I am absolutely absurd. If there were a Fed, I would certainly be a car character. but not as early.
I think the biggest challenge is that the audience enters the theatre with such a preconceived idea of who Diana is, and within a couple of seconds they're definitely going to decide whether they buy your interpretation or not.
I'm surprised. I didn't have a preconceived notion of who she was. I knew that people missed her and that...
I spent a year and a half, I don't think I went to sleep or woke up without being like, oh man, I have to like actually do that. So yeah, I was very scared. I would say I spent 2 weeks with like severe TMJ. I couldn't even open my mouth. And then the day we started shooting, I was like, I think Diana's ghost was like, yo, you have to pull yourself together.
To inform the clothes that I wear, and there's not always a through line there.
Speaking of the costume,
Well, I mean, she's so specific. She's so bubbly and buoyant. Something about the Southern California accent sort of falls out of your mouth and then to the ground like a brick, and she's like bubbles. So I think just sort of lightening up was the focus.